Confusing words. When we are writing or speaking, there are times when we stop and think, am I saying the correct word? Am I writing this word correctly? Does this word have an A or an E? Other times, we may think we are saying or writing the word correctly, but we are not. In English, there are many words that look similar, sound similar to other words in English, or sound like other words in Spanish, but they have different meanings. All these are called confusing words. All the languages have confusing words. Even people who speak and write in English since they were children can sometimes use some words incorrectly. However, we must try to speak and write in English in the best way that we can. For this reason, it's good to know the difference between these confusing words so that you can choose the correct one. We will look at different categories of words that make us doubt, and we will see many different confusing words. There are many words that can cause confusion. We would need a whole book to cover them all, but we will see some of the most common confusing words. Whenever you are not sure about a word, you should always check it in a dictionary to make sure you are using this word correctly. False cognates. False cognates, sometimes informally called false friends, are two words from two different languages that look or sound similar but have different meanings. The problem with false cognates is that, because of the similarity, people think they are using a word correctly, but they are saying something completely different. There are many words that sound similar in English and in Spanish and have the same meaning. Rose,
rosa,
autonomy,
autonomía,
television,
televisión,
car.
carro.
Because of this, some people think that all the words in Spanish and English that sound similar must have the same meaning, but that is not true. There are many exceptions. For example, the Spanish word
chocar
and the English word choke have similar sounds, but the meanings are different.
chocó, alguien chocó contra un árbol.
Choke. The criminal choked his victim. If you say, my brother choked his car, people who speak English won't understand you. You can't choke a car because a car doesn't breathe, a car doesn't have a neck or a throat. My brother choked his car.
Mi hermano estranguló a su coche.
My brother crashed his car.
Mi hermano chocó su coche.
These are other common false cognates. Actually.
Actualmente.
Some people think actually means in the present time. What it really means is, in reality. Actually, people depend on their smartphones for many things. Nowadays, people depend on their smartphones for many things, actually used correctly. Some people think that doing yoga is hard, but it's actually very easy if you start with simple postures. Embarrassed.
Embarazada.
Some people think embarrassed means going to have a baby. What it really means is feeling shame. She doesn't want to get embarrassed until she finishes her career. She doesn't want to get pregnant until she finishes her career. Embarrassed used correctly. She was very embarrassed because she forgot her best friend's birthday. Assist.
Asistir.
Some people think assist means going to an event. What it really means is to help. Are you going to assist to the symposium? Are you going to attend the symposium? Assist used correctly. If you don't know how to use this software, the teacher in the computer lab can assist you. Carpet.
Carpeta.
Some people think carpet means a folder with metal parts that holds papers. What it really means is
alfombra.
I keep all the notes I take in class in a carpet. I keep all the notes I take in class in a binder. Carpet used correctly. He doesn't like the wooden floors in the house he is buying. He wants to install carpet in the living room. Homophones. Homophones are words that sound the same, but they have different spelling and meanings. Homophones can be particularly problematic when you are writing. If you choose the incorrect one, some people may not understand your sentence. For example, pair and pear sound the same, but they are not the same. Pear, two of the same thing. Pear, a fruit. I bought a pair of shoes. I bought a pair of shoes. Here are other homophones that are frequently confused. It's. Contraction of it is. It's time to go to school. It's. Possessive of it. The tiger was showing its teeth. Advice. Advise. Advice. A recommendation or suggestions. Advice is a noun. My advice is, don't make important decisions when you are angry. Advise. To give a recommendation, advise is a verb. Her father advised her to study business administration. Your. Contraction of you are. Tell me when you're hungry and we can order some food. Your. Possessive of you. Is this your book? Loose, lose. Loose, opposite of tight, not firm. I like to wear loose clothes, they are very comfortable. Lose, to not be able to find something. Put your library card in your wallet so that you don't lose it. Here, here. Here, to listen. Do you want to hear Billie Eilish's new song? Here, the place or position where you are. Go to the bank, I can wait for you here. To. Preposition indicating direction, also indicates plans for the future. I am going to the mall. Sheila is studying to become an engineer. To means also, or indicates more than expected. We're going to Zachary's party. Are you going too? There is too much noise here. Let's go to a different place where we can talk. Whose. Contraction of who is. Who's going to repair that old clock? Whose. Possessive of who. I have a neighbor whose dogs are always barking. New. Opposite of old. He finally bought a new jacket. New. Past tense of no. She knew all the correct answers. Then. Word used to compare two things. A building is taller than a house. Then. Time expression that indicates something in the past, or a sequence word that indicates something that comes next. The 90s were a decade of many changes. For the first time, the internet became available to people back then. Take the cake out of the oven, let it cool down for a few minutes, and then you can start decorating it. There. Theor. There. A place or position different from where one is located, also indicates that something exists. All the chairs are occupied here, but I see an empty sofa there. There are many hotels in Acapulco. There. Contraction of they are. Have you tried the hamburgers at that restaurant? They're very good. There. Possessive of there. The Navajo tribes are very protective of their traditions. Homographs. Homographs are words that have identical spelling. Some homographs have different pronunciation. The liquid that comes out of people's eyes when they cry. On the last day of school, everyone had tears in their eyes. Tear. To break something into pieces, especially things that are soft. If she catches you copying, the teacher will tear your exam. Other homographs have the same pronunciation. We can only differentiate them from their context in a sentence. Bill. Money in the form of paper. This is a $1 bill. Bill. The mouth of birds, a beak. Toucans have a large and colorful bill. Other words that sound or look similar. There are other confusing words where the sound or the spelling are not identical, but very similar. Maybe the difference is just one letter or the sound of just one letter or syllable. Complement. Something that completes another thing, or two things that look well together. A veil is a compliment to the wedding dress. Compliment. Saying something nice to someone about how they look, their personality, their skills, or something they did. She gave him this compliment. You are the smartest person I know. Farther. Comparative that indicates more physical distance. Canada is farther from Mexico than the United States. Further indicates more progress. I want to advance further with my English studies. Emigrate. Migrate. Emigrate. To move away from a place. Because of war and poverty, many people emigrate from Syria. Immigrate. To move to a new place. Looking for new job opportunities, more than 1 million people immigrate to the United States every year. Migrate. Is the process of moving from one place to a new one. Many Latin Americans move in caravans when they migrate.